Morning, guys. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? 5:14 in the morning, West Coast time. It's Monday, the 20th of May, 2024, and I'm not even alive or awake yet for this stuff. I have to watch it out on my headset here. Has a tendency of muting or something like that. As soon as I hit the button on this damn thing, everything went hell in a handbasket, and I lost videos that way. So I have to be careful what I'm doing with this thing. A lot of things happening this morning. Oh, who am I? I'm the Weeelll John C. Roseman, California. That's okay. Let's put that on record there. Oh, the things I was researching last night and then this morning coming across, I'm like, okay, this ought to be an interesting Monday. We're not talking about the trials happening at this point over here. We're talking about other things happening right now. And I was just going over some of this stuff on YouTube and then watching on CNN. I'm like, oh, this is getting better and better, isn't it? International Criminal Courts chief prosecutor is trying to put it in a record and trying to get arrest warrants for three Hamas leaders, and not to mention um, Israeli um, defense minister and the current prime minister of Israel. Oh yeah, Netanyahu. Now, if they get the arrest warrants for all five of them, wouldn't that be a coup? Except would the Israelis accept it? Now, there was talk being posted ever so often and remarked ever so often that Israel will not accept an outside interference in dealing with their own internal matters, even though they are causing a lot of internal and external strife across the regions and across the world. They just don't care. We got universities happening in different countries, mostly in the United States. I'm understanding more and more about that one. As we got students taking over college campuses protesting of all the insanity happening in Israel. And Israel thinks that they don't have an influence on the world? They got to be out of their fucking minds. Yes, Hamas did what they did, and it was insane. I agree with it. But to go for an all-out genocide, is that the answer? Making more and more martyrs to the cause? Yes, recovering the hostages is paramount, but you're turning Israel, you're turning Gaza into ashes, and they're supposed to be okay with it? No, it's not okay with it. And yeah, there should be outside interference happening at this point over here, even though they are going to be following and breaking sovereign law and rules. But this is an international court for those countries who actually said yes, we will abide by them. Unfortunately, the United States isn't one of them. We're like Israel and a few other countries I'm not quite aware, but I think I am aware of generally, but not specific countries, that we will not abide by international criminal court system. The United States, in its high-headedness, is saying no, we are above. We are the United States. We are a superpower. We are above everything. We're arrogant fucks, that's for damn sure. We're the Roman Empire of the current age. They don't know that? Shit. Fucking arrogant assholes. That's what we are in America. We're arrogant assholes. So we'll see what happens in the court systems if they actually do get the arrest warrants for all five. Three Hamas militant leaders who was in charge of all the damn shit, plus Netanyahu, if he will accept it or not. If he's not going to accept it, I don't know what the hell the damn thing's going to be useful or not. But I know we're still going to have bounce back. We're going to have pushback from the students again. There are still campuses out there getting raided left and right. They are getting so much raided left and right. It's not even funny. So, yeah, this is important. This is important. It's happening in our lifetime here, and this is going to be sovereign questions. This is going to be a question about sovereignty in the classroom studies throughout the decades on this, throughout history. How we're supposed to be dealing with it, how we're supposed to be dealing with the international relations. You know, someone out there like Bo in the fifth column will be trying to wrap his head around the political aspects of this damn thing. I'm thinking, yeah, it's complicated as hell, but let's not say like we're losing words at this point. Come on, get with it. This stuff is going to be affecting us and our children and more generations down the road on how we're handling this situation. History is watching and judging the living crap out of us. The United States on how our interference or willingness to participate in a slaughter is going to be looked at. Or are we still trying to be looked at as humanitarian aid workers just to salvage and save the Palestinian people? But we're supposed to have this relationship with Israel saying, well, we're still buddy buddies. Are we? Because even buddies can disagree with each other. Even buddies can fall apart in relationships with each other, from the individuals to the large groups, and still trying to find a way to reconcile down the road. That wasn't bad enough. Last night it was confirmed that the president, Raisi of Iran, and his foreign minister and several others died in a helicopter crash. It's going to be interesting to see if they've got any investigative ability out there to determine whether or not it was mechanical or was it deliberate, or was it pilot error, or was it actually weather that forced down the helicopter. And now Iran's got to have an interim president. It was said last night in different videos that the Iran president, who passed away, tragic as it is to him and his family, that he was a real son of a bitch. He was a real badass. No, not badass as in a tough guy, but as in a pain in the ass, actually. I really didn't like Western democracy or anybody else at all. Would I call them the evil empire? No, just guys who exist in a stink of hatred of anybody and everybody. That they have to cause problems with everybody because that's their own fucking ego. They started this shit back in '79, and they're still continuing it to this time. Iran people are still under the thumb screws. And you know what the bitch of it is? Sometimes when I keep hearing some of these people on video that they want to have thumb screws, you have these independent idiots out there, I'll say it again, idiots, who want the thumb screws, who don't want democracy, who would rather have a state split apart because of political ideology. They want to have populations split and torn asunder to join another state and say, well, we feel more comfortable over here. We're not being listened to over here. I bring in Oregon. They've been having this damn thing for a long while. A news station out there, one of the news networks, affiliates out there, was doing a reporting story. They were talking about, if I can just pull the damn thing up. This has really pissed me off. All right. Channel 4 News out in Oregon had an issue. Their video was Divided America, Why These Americans Want to Quit Their State. And what does the stereotype people shown on Oregon? Well, let's see. If you're liberal and you're Democratic and you believe in freedom, why not show them in a cannabis, drugged out area, a festival for it? Drugged out hippies. And yet, the conservatives are gun-toting sons of bitches over here that we like our guns, we want our guns, why don't we keep shooting guns? We don't like them because they don't like us. We don't like their liberal wokeism ways. We don't like them having women's rights over their bodies. We don't like them having uh, rights for trans people or the LGBTQ communities. We don't like them having that. No, we don't want that. We want back in the old days where it's more conservative. Therefore, we want to move over to Idaho. Well, why can't you fuckers just move directly to Idaho? Leave the state alone. No, but this is Oregon. We want Oregon split up. We just don't want them here. We want to go over here where we're more comfortable. I hate to tell you, sons of bitches, but be uncomfortable. You're living in a democracy. You don't think democracy works? Democracy doesn't work. Then you hadn't studied democracy in class. Oh, it's still liberal. It's still wokeism. We don't understand any of this. How dare you? I dare, because I'm living in a state that tried to divide itself because the conservatives wanted it that way, and it didn't get that way. Well, you're too liberal. You're too woke. I hope so. Because in the last couple of elections, they kept trying to do the same damn crap all over again. Separate the state in different chunks. Dilute the state's power concerning about voting in both House and Senate. And think these states California split into states, would help out? I don't think so, Scooter Boys. It ain't going to work that way. There has yet to been an amendment out there to split apart states left and right. So federally, it ain't going to work. You're talking about the marriage of one state into another state, or portions of it. And that does affect the federal government in representatives both in House and Senate. So yeah, there is going to be a drawback on it. There's going to be pushback on this one. But it's becoming it's low key at this point because nobody's talking about it as much. Unless you're picking up on some of the local chatter. And that's about it. But on the national stage, has it made the national attentions? Has it even made the independent watchdogs out there, they call themselves? They're more focused on other issues than instead of Oregon having a conniption fit and having a personality conflict here. I think they've gone schizophrenic. But pisses me off is the stereotypes that they would use. Is every conservative gun-toting some bitch out there? And every liberal out there stoned out of their fucking mind? Yeah, I'm not pulling punches on the language. Fuck them. If this is what Oregon is coming up to, they need to get their head examined. They really do. Democracy is a messy form of government. But effectively, it gives both sides an area to listen to. But they're going to be screaming and yelling at each other. Hey, welcome to democracy. This is what we signed up for a long time ago. You want another government system? Go somewhere else. You want to leave? You want to be polarized? Leave the fucking country. You guys keep saying that to other people. You don't like America. Just leave it. We got other countries that got worse government systems than us. And even some of those democratic systems allow to have strong people coming in there and telling other people what to do. The elite, the small, the minority kept telling the majority, hey, we're in charge now. How you like that? And the majority is still squashed on this one. Yeah, there's been several countries that are supposed to be democratic in Central America. Well, guess what? We're getting a backflow through them. They're going through Mexico just to get through us. No wonder we're having issues at the border. It's because that side of the country, that side of the world is having issues. It's affecting us a great deal. Now we got other countries besides Central America and South America trying to get in here. We got India. Oh yeah, coming through the borders. You believe that one? That's interesting, isn't it? So what's going on with the country that also is supposed to be democratic? That they would have to have people coming across from the Mexican border into the United States. You gotta ask yourself about that situation there. I'm surprised we hadn't gotten overpowered yet. When I was watching last night concerning about scam artists out there, one particular channel I just came across was talking about Colonial Penn in the worst way possible, and in the Better Business Bureau had the very lowest remarks for the Colonial Penn, despite the fact how many times he kept saying that, and another rival out there for AIG trying to scam people into their money, out of their money left and right, and yet showing that they are a worthwhile country, actually a worthwhile company, because they have, well, one of them's got a dead person over there. Now they got to switch to a different spokesperson. But AIG's got Tom Selleck. Everyone loves Tom Selleck, so we got to listen to him, right? Oh, God, how much did they pay him for this crap? That's for damn sure. Or, even worse off, Bo Diddy. Sean Bo Diddy, yeah, him. That thing kind of pisses me off even worse. Why? Because I've got a wife beater who's playing head games. It was recorded at 2016 in a hotel. He was kicking and dragging his wife throughout a hallway right by the elevators. And they got that replayed in different areas on YouTube. Just Google the thing and you'd be able to see this damn thing. And now he comes out with a letter yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're not sorry. Give me a break. You're a wife beater. They got you on tape. They got your face. They got your body. They got you on there. Now you got a life cert. Now you got a lawsuit going on. You're a wife beater. Face it. That's not a character assassination. That's on record. That's on public record. That's being thrown out there. Or a successful rapper of music shown to be a wife beater. And he's sorry about it? He's sorry he got caught in the damn thing in the first place. It should have happened in the first place. He should have gotten some marriage therapy a long time ago regarding the situation. Could have came clean nearly a decade ago or several years ago when this damn thing happened. He didn't. He didn't. So yeah, I got a problem with that one. I don't want to associate anybody with a wife beater because I don't know what the hell they're going to be afterwards. Sorry, I'm not dealing with that kind of shit. I tell you, I've been digging up a whole world of insanity at this point, and one of which was dealing with a senior living center out in Houston. For about a month or more than that, this one particular place that housed hundreds of seniors, disabled, and because of a disasters happening out in Texas with the wind and the rain and potential tornado damage happening, left the place unlivable, red tagged, but people are still living there. So it was reported yesterday that they actually had city services coming down over there to help the people. But here's the fun part about this one. Where the fuck's the management? Where's the owners? Disappeared like a fart in the wind. And even the manager disappeared. The guy who was supposed to be in charge of the place when it was still falling down. They were still red tagged because of certain things wrong with the place. And I'm watching some of these news clips from different news stations of things that are happening that hasn't picked up on the West Coast. And it should have been, but it wasn't. But these people are going to get help at least. There was one company out there that the city of Houston was working with. At least got power. Doesn't help them with the water situation. Doesn't help them with trying to get more food in there, but they're trying to get more food in there. They're trying to make things more livable over there, despite the fact they got heat going on. So that's insane. Everybody else trying to go for the damn politics these days, and I'm saying news stories like this kind of jerks my chain around. The rich and powerful don't care about the small guys. They don't. And that ain't even nice to hear. Assange, the guy who was in charge of WikiLeaks past couple of decades, who had been under house arrest or actually under asylum through another country. Well, now he's captured in Britain. He's been captured in Britain, and they're having a hearing for this guy, whether or not he's going to be extradited to the United States, but also if he's going to be tried and charged for espionage. Because the stuff that WikiLeaks was doing the past few decades was displaying classified documents that other countries, including the United States, was trying to keep on their wraps. You have governments out there, you have sovereign nations who are trying to perform foreign policy one way or another, and sometimes the information they have, they don't share with the other allies or anybody else for that matter. They've got their own little poker faces on here, what kind of tail cards they've got, what kind of cards they're going to be able to use in their game. And you need to have a poker face every time you keep getting a wild card in this one. Well, they got wild card. They got wild cards, and they're trying to stay in the companies. The countries are still trying to stay in the game of foreign policy. But WikiLeaks changed that when they started releasing documents for different countries, including the United States, that made us question about our own national security. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And who's going to be responsible for the damn thing when it gets violated? And we have been violated. Are we going to have them extradited? It's a different story altogether. I don't know if we are or not. That would be something, but I'm not quite sure. But if we do, that'll be something. Because then we could put the guy under jail and throw him over to Gizmo maybe, or Supermax. Not a country club. But that being said, I'm looking CNN right now about Houston, who underwent, as I said before, about those storms going through, tornadoes, high winds, a lot of rain, hail. Yeah, they're experiencing damages in different high-rise buildings and low-end areas. Heat's cooking them, and the humidity is basically turning them into a steam bucket. I wouldn't be surprised if God was still pissed off at us one way or another. A lot of people in Texas still without power, and Abbott's still dragging his ass on the damn shit as usual. When Texas underwent these kind of conditions, heat, they dragged their ass concerning about how much power they're going to be getting for their state, and the U.S. senators didn't do shit. So I'm kind of going to keep an eye on these guys, whether or not their state government's going to be screwing them over one way or another. If they can get power managed in Texas to get more air conditioning for people, I know it's going to be sucking up on the gigawatts here, but they're going to need it. The roar of Edwards Air Force Base. It's not the airplanes, it's the damn traffic. Every morning around this time, we get the Indianapolis 500 of people trying to race through left and right. 10 to 12 to nearly 15 miles, I think, from United and Roseman Boulevard all the way to the gate, and they're flooring it like crazy. They suck up enough go-go juice from different places and then hit that accelerator. If they catch the light just right, they're racing through town. Mostly coming from the hotels. So yeah, that's what's going on this morning here. Lots of fun stuff happening. We're still about in the 8th week, I believe, of no bug assistance from from any bug place. You know, we're supposed to have weekly sprayings. Apparently, the contract fell through with a major corp, and so now management doesn't know what to do about it because Orkin is not responding. There had been a fallout between corporate and Orkin on this one. So now the residents have to suffer with the damn bugs. Aren't we fortunate about it? So if you happen to see anything crawling around in the background, don't freak. It's bug war. That's not to deal with them. I still have to deal with another month coming up in about a couple of weeks that I'll be purchasing more glue traps for these bastards. I have to manage finances on a personal note. Shit happens. I deal with it. Till then, guys, see what happens.